Imagine it's 1914. Streets are mostly dirt, full of horses and carriages, and the automobile is relatively new, especially in small-town Iowa. That was the year the McEleney brothers, who had never driven an automobile, decided to open a dealership. Emmett, a machinist, and Leo, a sales and businessman, borrowed $1,000, opened McEleney Auto Company in Clinton, Iowa, and sold their first car, a 1914 Jeffrey. And then, after that first sale, they taught themselves how to drive in a 1911 Marmon they took in as a trade. Emmett and Leo McEleney couldn't know how important the automobile would become to the American lifestyle.
But they saw an opportunity and built on it, and we've sold almost 200,000 vehicles since then, but it started with that one sale 100 years ago.
But success didn't come easily to the McEleney brothers. World War I started 2 months after they opened for business. They survived and started their first franchise with Oldsmobile in 1926. Then Leo lost his business partner when Emmett died suddenly in 1928. 2 years later, the Great Depression began. Business was slow, and Leo was the only salesperson at McEleney Motors. To stay competitive, he continued to call on businesses and individuals.
The first time I ever bought a new car, and I got delivery on Friday before Pearl Harbor.
With the advent of World War II, automakers stopped building cars and produced tanks and planes for the war effort. So the innovative Leo turned the dealership into a bowling alley to bring in revenue.
Oh, I remember it well. And there were no cars on the lot because they didn't have any to sell.
But Leo liked a good time. He would take me out and we'd have a good time. He liked to do that. He loved his cigars.
Despite the challenges, McEleney Motors was successful, but it had taken its toll on Leo.
He's thinking he's pretty discouraged with everything, and he tells Warren, my dad, he said, when you finish college, if you want to come back and become a car dealer in Clinton, Iowa, be my guest, but I'm getting out of the business. I've had it.
After attending the General Motors Institute to become a mechanical engineer, Warren returned home to McEleney Motors in 1947. It was a very small Oldsmobile franchise with few employees.
I started here in '52, and when I started, there were 2 salesmen besides myself.
Under Warren's guidance, the dealership grew at its Main Street location. Franchises were added, and Warren's passion as a dealer pioneer gained him admiration throughout the industry. He was elected to serve on the National Dealer Council for nearly every franchise McEleney's acquired. In the early 70s, Warren was the first Iowa dealer to head the National Automobile Dealers Association and advocated on behalf of dealers with automakers, government officials, and the consuming public.
Whether it was in Clinton, Iowa, or Washington, D.C., or Florida, or Las Vegas, when the name McEleney was brought up, they knew you weren't just another dealership out of there because of the history of McEleney's, from, like I said, NADA to Time Magazine Dealer of the Year.
And I was fortunate to become chairman of NADA in 2009. We were the only father and son at that time that had ever served in that capacity.
Operating in the same property on Main Street along the Mississippi until 2002, McEleney Motors survived 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and 2 major floods. Despite that adversity, they initiated numerous expansions that increased space from 3,000 square feet to more than 70,000 square feet. Today, McEleney's represent Toyota, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC in a complex newly constructed in recent years.
Chevrolet was key. Chevrolet was huge in 1958. And then adding Toyota, it gave us the best import franchise for many years, still today, I think, and the best domestic franchise in Chevrolet.
In 1958, Warren's brother Jim joined the partnership. They took the company through a major flood, rising above the adversity to rebuild and reinvest.
The family's always had a commitment to the business as well. It isn't just take from the business, it's invest in the business, invest in the people.
They do things because they want to. They understand the impact of economic development, that everybody wins. If we do, we all win in economic development. So they get it, they know it, and they do it because they want to do it.
In 1988, all 6 GM franchises were combined in one location. In 2002, McEleney Motors relocated to a new 72,000 square foot facility. In 1914, McEleney Motors started selling cars with 2 employees, and neither of them knew how to drive. Today, 67 employees, who all have driver's licenses, work in a 72,000 square foot modern complex with exclusive facilities for Toyota and GM. In 1914, there were 156 brands sold in the U.S. Today, there are 36. In 1914, the average price of a new auto was $750. Today, it's $29,000. The number of cars sold by McEleney's in 100 years is estimated at 186,000. End to end, that many vehicles would stretch 612 miles. Emotional ties to the community go back 4 generations. There are hundreds of active and retired employees here, and thousands of customers who've struggled together and prospered together. McEleney is committed to community and actively supports everything from schools to junior baseball, to the YMCA, United Way, area churches, and much more.
You know, we realize that we run into customers and friends every single day, so we want to be, good members of the community and be very involved.
What will the automotive business be like in the future?
As much as things have changed over the years, and they've changed drastically with the internet and so many different ways to buy a vehicle, I like to think we've got the core of what Emmett and Leo were all about 100 years ago, back in 1914, when they said, let's try this, let's open this business.
The American people still have a love affair with the automobile. So while they can buy a car online, they can get all their information online, they can learn about interest rates, and they do. At the end of the day, it's still an emotional purchase, second biggest purchase that most people make in their lifetimes. So they want to come in and drive the vehicles and feel the merchandise and have the experience. And I think the dealers that can enhance that and not take that for granted and will be successful.
The people that have worked for the company over the years have been passionate about what they do. And I think that's really the key, because that passion comes through in their caring for the customers, caring for the co-workers.
Not only just if you need a car, but if you need assistance in any way possible. I know the McEleney family is always there.
You're not a number, like I said, they know you by your first name.
I think McEleney's being around as long as they have, they've been doing something right, and I'm glad that I'm a part of it.
I think that as long as we don't get so full of ourselves and think, just because we've done it for 100 years, we're going to be successful. Every day we come to work, we got to think about how we can get better, how we can take better care of our customers, give them a better experience, provide our employees with opportunity.
Congratulations to the McEleney Auto Center legacy.
We appreciate everything you do, and we look forward to another 100 years.
Congratulations to a real wonderful family.
Congratulations, McEleney's, on 100 years.
Congratulations on 100 years of McEleney's being in business.
Happy celebration for McEleney's 100th anniversary.
Happy 100th birthday to McEleney Auto Center, and looking forward to another 100 years.
To the entire McEleney family, congratulations on 100 years, and hopefully we have another 100.
I certainly want to congratulate the whole McEleney family, because as I've enjoyed working here, they've been very good to me.
Congrats, McEleney, on 100 years.
Happy 100th.
Congratulations, McEleney's, on your 100th anniversary.